Guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to bring you the 2027 Kia Telluride Tour. Now, Kia decided just to skip the 2026 model year and instead bring you a redesigned 2027. If this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Kelly and I'm the car mom. I review cars for moms and for families. I'm a mom of 4 and I'm a certified child passenger safety tech. Let's get started. Okay, so with this Telluride redesign, they have completely reworked the interior and the exterior. They did the same thing with the Palisade last year because remember, Hyundai and Kia are owned by the same company. I previously thought that these cars had completely their own identity, but I do think with both these redesigns, we see a lot more similarities between the two cars. As far as the car seat setup, the space, and the family-friendly features are concerned, the two cars are identical. I would kind of refer to them as like fraternal twins, right? Like they actually operate the exact same, they have the same DNA, they just look a little bit different. So today we are going to be focusing on the differences in the Telluride. Now the trim level I have today is the S, okay? This is like the mid-level trim. This one has an MSRP of $45,000, but you can absolutely get a Kia Telluride with upwards of $60,000, okay? So I kind of like that we're landing right here in the middle, $45,000. For the mid-size market, that feels like a pretty good price. And I want to start by talking about this exterior redesign. I think it looks good. Okay, I'm actually into it. I think it looks very similar to the EV9. The Kia lineup is getting more and more cohesive. I think it's very boxy, very angular, very sporty. Like they kind of kept that sportiness that we had in the outgoing Tellurides. And overall, I think it looks like, truthfully, a luxury car from the side. I think there's no denying if you just saw like from here down, you could easily think this was a Range Rover. I think the mirror caps are a little bit interesting. We have this light bar right here. I like this car in white. Okay, I've seen it in several of the colors. I think the white offers some really nice contrast while still, I don't know, the black was like a little too much going on. I'm liking this car in white. We have these new door handles that go flush and then come out when the car is unlocked. We come back here, some nice accents, a very angular back end. And then the back end is probably like the least attractive part to me. It's a very flat, kind of is giving like the new Santa Fe. You know, again, same company, so you're gonna see some similarities. This feels very long, just like long and flat. You know, I'd like to see a little bit more something. Maybe the headlights come out. So this is the worst angle. I like the front, I like the side, and I'm very, very excited to show you the interior, especially the car seat updates that they made. Okay, so here's a shot of me in the driver's seat of the new Kia Telluride. There's so much to break down here, but let's start with the door panel. Okay, so again, completely reworked. We have a small side cubby right here, heated seats, and if we had ventilated seats, that would be there right now. And then we have kind of a unique door handle. I like it. There's a part of me that almost finds it easier to do like one-handed because you can just like press a finger and it kind of pops open. So I think kind of my theme of both like the Telluride and the Palisade, I just kind of feel like I am missing some of those luxury design elements that we had on the outgoing models. I specifically feel this way in the Palisade. I'm just missing some different textures. It's very, I don't want to use the word plastic in a bad way, but they just kind of took away like a lot of those like nice fit and finishes, and they still brought me like a beautifully well-designed car. I wouldn't necessarily call the interior luxury. Not that like, I mean the previous, I mean it's not a luxury car, I understand that. I guess I'm just missing some additional materials and designs in here. It just feels very different. We do have the Kia logo slightly off-centered. I like it, people don't. I'm liking it. We have kind of a completely new style of steering wheel. It's a bit more of like a square circle. And then one thing I'm not going to like though is I don't like this gear selector right here. I find it obnoxious that I have to like, you know, go in there to change things. I like when it's a button, or I like when it's here. That annoys me. And I mean, sometimes I feel like my knee's hitting it too, you know, like my knee's hitting it right here. So I don't love that. But let me get to the other side and we'll start breaking down the rest of this infotainment system. Okay, I will say I do think this interior redesign is better than the Palisades. I kind of am preferring the design here. It's less like a padded safe room. There is some more design elements in here. Huge screen, beautiful screen. I'd love it to be a little bit more curved, but overall I think this is fun. I like the big screen. I like that it goes into our dash right here. We have climate control that is right here, which I will be honest, it's kind of cutting off my visibility like if I'm looking at the steering wheel. But I mean, again, I guess it was something I would get used to. It is interesting kind of their decision to bring back some more physical buttons to the Telluride, especially if you look at like the Carnival and some of the Sorrentos. We now have a serious like volume scroller. We have our quick buttons right here, and then we also have our climate control here as well. I mean, these are big buttons. Like this to me is kind of giving like Toyota a little bit, and I actually really appreciate it. I think it's quick, easy to see, user-friendly. And speaking of user-friendly, for as much as I harp on wireless chargers, I'm kind of liking this one, okay? So first of all, you have charging for days, okay? USB, 3 USB-Cs. This one clearly indicates that this is the one that's the Apple CarPlay, and then you have 2 that just charge. We also have 2 wireless chargers, and when this light is on, it means it's charging. So there's no more guessing, like, you know, when you turn and then like it falls off the charger. It's these nice mats that have this lip on the side, and I actually kind of like it. If I could, like, in my perfect world, I'd have this lowered just a little bit more, so this could also act as like a cubby space if I, you know, for, you know, keys or things like that. But I honestly, I'm more impressed than I thought I would be. I also like, we have this cubby here, so you do have a place to put your keys. We have 2 cup holders. What's interesting though is depending on the trim level, the cup holders are going to look different here. We've got 2 cup holders here, and then we also have the 2 in the back. We've got a center console with our 12 volt in there. And then we have these like kind of majorly dramatic handles. It's fine. It's just, you know, it's a little bit of a claw to get to your drink. You know, it's your kind of, it's not a, it's a, see what I'm doing there? Little storage underneath here. Sorry, I forgot to point that out to you earlier, but I love that. My headroom's great. I mean, the car feels definitely taller. The seats are comfortable, and I do think, like, with this being kind of raised up, it does kind of give it more of like that cockpit feel. So I am comfortable. My visibility's good. I mean, the back windshield's a little small. You know, by the time you actually have passengers back there, it's going to be a little tougher. I don't have the rear view camera. I don't know if that's on the higher trims or not, but that might be a feature I would consider getting, especially if you're going to have third row passengers back there. It's just going to kind of affect your visibility. But yeah, besides that, I'm liking it up here. I like it better than, I do like it better than the outgoing model. Functionality wise, I do just wish we had, I don't know, it's a little bit more minimalistic than I was expecting, I guess. Like, it kind of feels crazy. But I also could see it kind of growing on me. I'm like not ready to like totally give an opinion on it. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so let's start breaking down some of the most exciting improvements on this 2027 Kia Telluride, and that is everything that's happening in the car seat setup, okay? Now, I've yet to see the bench seat, but I have very low expectations. I know it's not available on all the trim levels. I know it's very hard to find, and I'm pretty sure it's still not going to be 3 across possible due to the severe seatbelt overlap. So this is one of those cars where I say skip the bench, let's get the captain's chairs, and let's talk about the ones we have here. So this car has good legroom, okay? That's kind of like what the Palisade and the Telluride are known for. It's good second row legroom, and it's good second row amenities. So we're gonna get to the amenities in a second. But first, I brought this Kiko KeyFit Max, and I wanted just to show you what a big, bulky infant seat is going to look like back there. I have that driver's seat set for myself. I'm 6 feet tall, and this fits. This fits comfortably. I'm liking everything about it. I also want you guys to see just like how nice and wide these doors open, okay? Like that just comes straight out. That's awesome. All right, so one great thing that they added for 2027 was the car seat tilt, okay? So now you're able to access the third row even with a car seat installed, because if you look, I have this installed with latch, doesn't affect my installation, and I can still get back there. I'll also be sure to show you that on the other side with that booster seat that I brought. So one great thing about this car is that the second row are on tracks, okay? So that means you can give more legroom to that third row if needed, just depending on who is sitting where. Like I said, my amenities back here are really good, okay? I've got ceiling vents. I've got my climate control up here. I've got those 2 cup holders that I showed you earlier in the front. I have some extra storage here. I have USB-Cs on both backs of the seats, which I love. On the door, we don't have sunshades on this trim, but I have this indicator right here to let me know if a car is approaching that would light up. So if I'm like on a street, I don't open the door into a car. This is one of those cars that's really good for rear-facing car seats, but also older passengers because of all this nice second row legroom. Another great upgrade that they made for 2027 was they fixed the seat belts, okay? So on the outgoing models, these seat belts, even on the captain's chairs, were recessed and they were into the seats, like they were here. Now they're on the sides. They're still rigid, and I don't like love the angle they're coming out at, but it's gonna make it a lot easier for kids and boosters to buckle themselves because they're not gonna be like digging their hand down into the seat. So it's not a perfect improvement, but it's a better improvement. Okay, so here we have the Nuna Ace booster seat. This is one of my favorite new boosters on the market right now. And I wanted just to show you how the car seat tilt can also work with something like this. Tilts, slides forward, and then I'm able to hop back into the third row. And then we get to the third row where there's lots to talk about. So something newer for 27 is they've definitely elevated this third row seat. It kind of is like stadium style. So it's, can you get that shot? Like it's lower down there. You step up here. So it does kind of give you a little bit less, I guess legroom's the right word. I kind of feel like I have my knees a lot higher than I would like comfortably. So there's a level of me that is a little disappointed in that. Let me try to put this down like to give myself some more legroom. So I mean, that's definitely more comfortable. It offers flexible seating, which I do really like that. So it just depends on who's sitting where. You know, if you have like a smaller child in a forward-facing car seat here, maybe they could scoot up and then your older child could be more comfortable back here. I do appreciate, though, that the amenities back here are still really good. It doesn't feel like I have nothing to talk about. I've got great ventilation with my ceiling vents. I've got charging on both sides, and I have 2 cup holders on either side as well. So that's a huge improvement. They also did a really good job of giving us more lower anchors. So on the outgoing Telluride, they only had 1 set of lower anchors back here and only 2 top tethers. Now we have lower anchors in both outboard seating positions, and we now have 3 tethers. So that gives a lot more car seat versatility. When I'm thinking about how a car is going to work for a family, I put a lot of emphasis on versatility, okay? I want to make sure that as a growing family, you can fit as many of your children in as many of the seating positions as possible. Because I know there's things like, you know, grade school drop-off, adding a new child, carpooling, that we want to be able to ensure we have that versatility to now, okay, now so-and-so is going to go in the 3rd row. I'm going to put this kid in the 1st row. On the old Telluride, you were kind of limited on who could sit where. These minor improvements they've made of adding the extra lower anchors and tether anchors and adding the car seat tilt has really made this a more versatile car for different families. So I was able to fit a full-size Up Baby Vista stroller back here. You know, for the size of the car, it's fine. It's not the biggest trunk, but I mean, a full-size stroller fitting back here I still think is pretty impressive with the 3rd row up. I want to go ahead and show you what it looks like with nothing in there. And then we also have a little bit of extra storage in here. They also offer this like 2 cup holders and a measuring tape. I don't really know what that's for, but something to talk about. So anyway, some more storage underneath here. These seats are very easy to fold flat. It's just a fold and push. It's not power, which I like. Let's just get it down. But the 2nd row seats are power, and you can control them back from the trunk as well. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this 2027 Kia Telluride tour. I can't believe I'm doing the first tour of 2027 in literally February of 26, but that's besides the point. Overall, I'm excited about this redesign. I appreciate Kia's effort to make this a more family-friendly car, and I'm just dying to know what you guys think of this exterior and interior updates. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.